Hello, it's Graeme from Rogues. Welcome to another mix breakdown of our latest track, Bad Things. This is the session, roughly 72 tracks in total. Let's have a look at the drums. So we've got a kick in there, got a heavy snare, 808 snare mixed in there a little bit quieter. We've got 808 hats, so it's kind of the sort of fake sounding hats, but then we've got acoustic hats, little accents. Just mute everything else so you can hear it. Into the verse, we have a lighter 808 kick. Got a rim shot instead of the sort of main big snare sound. We've got real hats. Into the pre-chorus. So that's an entire drum bus that has been bounced down into one file and then just filtered. So that filter is gradually opening as well. That's not actually in the session here. That's just bounced down into the file. Into the main chorus sound. Couple of different claps that come in and out there, just accents, 808 hats, and acoustic hats. There is also a distorted clap that happens just before that. I think it's quite quiet in the mix anyway. Yeah, you get the idea there. Into the verse 2, a little bit different with the 8-bit snare, just a different sort of feel of snare in there. Take a little, take a lot, climb. So that's instead of that rim shot that was in the first verse. 808 kick comes in. We've got hats in there as well. Into the pre-chorus. Very similar filtered drums that are gradually opening up. You've also got distorted toms. That's this one here. You've got a little fill at the end there with those two, the high and the low toms. Into the chorus, very similar there, not too much changed from the first chorus. Into the bridge, just down to that 8-bit snare, a little bit more filtered maybe compared to, I think it's the second verse. Sounds a little bit different anyway. Into the second half of the bridge. So it's hats there now. And also the little accent hats. Chorus quiet, so the drums completely drop out for this section, and then into the loud chorus. So not too much different there. In terms of production, nothing on the actual drum bus. Saturn, which is really crunching up that intro filtered drums. That's what it sounds like without it. So it's on the broken tube setting and just absolutely maxed out. a little bit of highs and presence taken out. I did the same with this EQ, just filtered it a lot, but also took out a lot of the body of the snare that comes up. I think all that distortion kind of makes those frequencies a little bit too overbearing. So it cleans that up a lot. A lot of the high frequencies being reduced a little bit on the snares, and maybe the clickiness of the kick is being reduced there as well. The gain plugin, just gain staging a little bit there, and the high frequencies and low frequencies reduced. Just a bit more filtering. For the filtered drums, that'll be very similar. Fat 808 kick, just reducing a lot of the highs, maybe increasing the body of the kick a little bit more. No processing on the 808 light kick. On the heavy snare, clipping. Using Boz Clipper. No saturation. EQ, I'm just increasing the body of that high, heavy snare. So that particular snare sample has a lot of the sort of high frequencies and snappiness, but I just re-added a little bit more body back to it. Valhalla Room, adding some reverb. Very dry without that. 808 snare, looks like there's no processing whatsoever. There was, but it looks like I've disabled it all. So just very dry 808 snare sample, but it's mixed in a little bit lower than the main heavy snare. 8-bit snare, nothing. 808 clap, some reverb. So a very long reverb trail on that one. Distorted clap, same deal. Rim shot, bit of gain. No, that's doing nothing. Hats, a little bit of saturation. Just making it a little bit more stronger, more intense. 808 hats, a little bit of high frequency removed. Not doing very much there. Acoustic hats, no processing. Bridge hats, nothing. Some of these will have had some sort of processing when Christian wrote these drum parts and gave me the stems. But that's all I had to do to get them sounding good in a mix. Let's have a look at the bass. So sort of filtered Juno, sort of 80s sounding bass. Into the chorus, this comes in two parts. So the I'll show you the sub part first. So there is a bit of mid and high frequencies in that, but it's mostly sub, very bassy frequencies. In contrast to the next part, which is the distorted part of the bass sound. So that's just two decapitators just maxed out almost. Bass sub. Gain plugin not doing anything. Cutting out almost all the mid and high frequencies and compressing. Last chorus in the quiet section. Just a bit of EQ on that one, taking out the mid frequencies. First bass, nothing. Bass filtered, nothing. On the bass bus, sidechain compressor, just looking at the kick, same as the other mixes that I've done. And that's pretty much it. Going into the synths, the quiet intro. It's a cool scream sample. Chorus riff. And there's the chorus synth keys. And the verse keys. The pre-chorus. So that's one of them. And then the other part is this. And into the main chorus sound for the synths. Nothing different from the intro chorus part. The second verse. It'll take a lot climbing your way to. So there's this little flute thing that happens. Into the second pre-chorus. Not too much different from the first pre-chorus. The second chorus, nothing different. The bridge. So we've got that new electric keys. I think it's similar to that one. Maybe it's just processed a little bit differently. Got that sort of spooky keys part. Into the chorus quiet. So it's similar to this part, I think. So it's just higher up. Into the last chorus. That's pretty much it for the synths in terms of production. Track spacer is a lifesaver for vocals. Getting the all the synths out of the way of the vocals when they're needed. Maybe not used quite as much as in the other songs. 8.6% doesn't seem like as much from memory. On the individual track level, taking out a lot of mid-frequency resonances on pretty much all of the tracks. Maybe a little bit higher on the scream. Pre-chorus chirper. Same thing, bit of delay on this one. Chirper pluck. Taking out some of the low frequencies in that one. Mid-frequency cleanup. More delay on these little flute accents. More mid-frequency cleanup, mid and low frequencies. Same thing, same thing, same thing. Echo Boy on the main synth. The Echo Boy is probably not doing too much. Oh, it's actually been using it as like a bit of a saturation tool. The echo time is actually set to 0. And soothe is just cleaning up some of that sort of harshness around sort of between 500 and 1K. And that's pretty much it for the synths. Let's have a look at the vocals.
I give a little, give a lot, deadpan, but you never talk. If our odds looked bleak, you turn the other cheek, go right around. You're in the middle of a dream, red palms, but your hands are clean. If those eyes could speak, the secrets that you keep would all come out.
So 2 doubles here.
Keep me alive, no one will know. I feel trouble
And 2 doubles.
burning in my soul. I just felt the world stop turning. I'm running from the screams. You're floating in my dreams.
You get the idea there. Not too much different on the second verse, pre-chorus or the chorus into the bridge.
And threes. Keep me alive. No one will know. Keep me alive.
So there's 2 doubles. The main lead actually has a lot of delay on it and sort of saturation effects. There's this little high thing that happens as well.
No one will know.
Again, very delayed, very reverby, very saturated or filtered. Into the quiet chorus.
I just felt the world stop turning. I'm running from the screams.
So just sung a little bit quietly, and there's this little shifted formant thing. There we go.
Dreams.
I really like that part. Same chorus, outro. There is these doubles here.
You're floating in my dreams. It's getting darker.
So one is the formant shifted ad lib, and then one's just a clean and doubles of that, all panned, sort of middle, and then the 2 doubles are hard left and hard right. And at the very end, we've just got one of the threes. I never mentioned these, so like at the end of every chorus, there's a bunch of backing vocals that also say threes.
Threes. Take a little.
They're all high. I think in the main vocal, it's the sort of lower part of it. But in the very ending, I think one of them is pitched.
Threes.
Sounds weird on its own, but in the mix, sounds kind of cool. Bridge vocals, spooky high. We had a look at that, and so it's the same part just throughout the outro. And that's pretty much it. In terms of production on the vocal, just cleaning up some of the sort of mouth clicks and any dodgy fades that could be in there. That sort of tidies up that side of things. Vocal compressor on all of them. Vocal EQ, cleaning up the low and the mid frequencies in my voice. Saturn, gentle saturation for the verse.
Give a little, give a lot, deadpan, but you never talk.
Delay, which is ducking as well. Vintage verb on the verse leads. However, all of these are also being sent to bus 32, which is also a ducking reverb. Very similar settings on the pre-chorus lead. The doubles are much cleaner. Delays on them. Double formant. That was done with Ovox. Reducing the formant. What settings is this on? Another dimension. Valhalla delay on that, just that one little bit. Formant ad lib. Again, that's using Ovox to change the formant, make my voice sound a bit more interesting. otherwise it's, yeah, the processing is very clean on these. On the 3s, again, they're all, yeah, barely any process on them. Bridge vocals, spooky high. A lot of delay, reverb, saturation on those. The EQ is extremely filtered. And the outro vocals, yeah, same deal. The filters maybe a little bit more open. You can see the difference there. But apart from that, I think most of the settings are pretty much the same. GW Vox Verb, again, that's the ducking reverb thing. Effects, there's a couple of like reverse noise things that happen on the first few choruses. So you can kind of hear that happening there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just get a feel for the mix.
You're floating in my dreams. It's getting darker, fire's burning. You're coming after me. This path is coming. Freeze. I just thought the world stopped turning. I'm running from the screams. You're floating in my dreams. It's getting darker, fire's burning. You're coming after me. This path is coming. Threes.
There you have it. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't listened to the final track already, go check it out on Spotify or YouTube. There's a lyric video out for this one. Thank you very much for all the support on the previous singles that we've released over the past couple of months. They seem to be doing very well on streaming and playlists and radio and all that. They have been a part of a bigger release, which is going to be an album coming out very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Let us know what your favorite tracks are, and if you'd like us to do any more production themed videos around those, that'd be cool. Yeah, right, that's all from me. Thanks very much. We'll see you in the next one.